Namaste, lovely souls. I am back in Dubai. And happy solstice for all of you guys. Today is the longest day in the year. Longest not, but in Germany we say it's the day where the sun shines for the longest time, where it's not so much dark. And I'm back in Dubai, just returned yesterday morning after spending more than 1 month in Europe, Spain. And I promised you that I will let you know what happened on my journey. It was a long journey and a lot of things happened actually. Where to start? So on the 23rd of May, I traveled to Barcelona. And then I took a next airplane to Mallorca and I attended a trading event where I actually learned again more about stock exchange, option trading, because I already do that since a couple of years. So I was networking with beautiful souls there, spending 3 wonderful days and got a lot of financial insights. I learned even about cryptocurrencies. That was my business Shakti movement, you know. Then I went to my beautiful dear friends, Claudio and Caro, who took me in their wonderful place in Palma de Mallorca, where I was able to spend a couple of days before my Ayahuasca retreat happened. And that's the thing what I really want to talk about today, because I promised you guys that I will tell you what I experienced. And I just want to share, because I know I had before that a lot of friends of mine who went on this kind of journey. Some of them had super amazing experiences, others didn't at all. So for me, I actually was never really keen on trying this plant medicine out because I thought with my meditation practice and breathwork practices, I can reach already very high states of consciousness. But the plant was very consistent in calling me. So I attended last year a women retreat from my beautiful friend Isabel. And I took for the first time ever mushrooms in a ritual. And sometimes they say when you took mushrooms, it is the first calling because the mushrooms are the little brother or something like that to Mother Ayahuasca. So she kept on coming back into my life. She knocked on the door before, but I wasn't sure about it. And then she constantly, popped up in my life. People were talking about it. And I got so many insights, and I was watching as well shows around it, how other people experienced that journey. And then I just said, okay, plant, let's make a deal. If you really want me to go this path, please give me an option where I kind of feel safe, a safe environment, because I heard stories where people attending this kind of ceremonies with just one shaman and one energetic worker, and there were more than 20 people, and everything got out of control, because when 20 people go into their own process, it requires a lot of energy to hold that space. And for me, it was important that there is more than one person who is taking care of the whole room, and that I feel held. So I got to know my friend Sonia here in Dubai, and she told me about her beautiful experience 4 years ago in Barcelona at a place called Avalon. And I was checking out this place, and immediately I felt like a connection, and I booked a call with one of the workers there to just see how the energy feels. And on the second thing, I checked out the whole team, and I found a beautiful human being called Benjo. The funny thing is, Benjo appeared in one of my card readings half a year before. He was the moon priest, and it was the card was showing, whenever you find this man, he has a mission to do with you. He will show you the next level or something like that. And I saw this guy and I was like, I need to talk to him. So I connected with him on Instagram. He was one of the people who kind of helped bringing Avalon together. he was not super present there anymore because he's mainly traveling a lot, bringing masculine energy into the whole universe. But I connected with him, I had a talk, and I felt like, oh yeah, this is a really good fundament what he was bringing to Avalon. And so I had another call with one of the workers, and I sensed her energy. It was a pure, warm-hearted energy, and I said, okay, this is a place where I think I might be safe. So what they do, they run these retreats, and I actually attended a 4-day retreat where we did 3 nights an ayahuasca journey in Barcelona. It was not in the center, it was more in the nature outside in a beautiful venue with just 15 participants. But the staff, they had more than 20 people working on there. It was a whole concept. It was not just the ceremonies, it was, they had chromatic chefs, they prepared amazing food for us, they had yoga sessions, we got a massage, we got integration circles, one-on-one talks with people, painting, face painting, and a lot of quality time together. So it was one of the retreats where you felt from the beginning until to the end that everything was really like smartly thought through. It was a whole concept, a whole experience. So 15 people, we didn't know each other, so I was in Barcelona waiting for the bus, and there, the other people were waiting too, so we already connected with each other, talking, and I especially connected with 2 very close, like-minded people. One was Amy from Australia. We had some beautiful experiences during that journey, and I will come to that later, and Lena from Funny Thing, Dubai. From 15 people, actually 6 of the people came or were living in Dubai at the moment, which is funny, right? And we all didn't know each other. So it was really interesting. So we had this bus ride going into this beautiful nature, and even the bus driver had to do so many funny things because he literally had to go through a portal, like a door that was maybe 2 centimeters wider than the bus. So that was already the beginning of the journey. You can make everything happen if you just believe in yourself. So I was, of course, super excited because I never did something like that. And I had a huge respect to this plant. I set a lot my intentions. I wanted to be very clear when I do this journey. And funny thing is that one day before I went to the retreat, I met Benjo in person in Barcelona, and we had a talk about certain things. So he gave me some little hints and advices I should take into my mind when I take the medicine. And I will tell you all about it because the whole journey for me was prepared more than 6 months before. The people who were joining my life that time, every one of them kind of like gave me a little insight of what helped me really go through it in the journey. So the first night, super excited, curious. We all were like sitting on our beds. You have like, it's a beautiful room where you have 15 beds or mattresses, and in front you have a toilet paper and a little bucket where of course you can purge if you have to. So how they opened the ceremony was that you were able to get rapé, which is like a plants and tobacco mixed, and you get it into your nose, which actually is there for clearing your head, so you can get easier out of your mind and not standing inside in front of your own way, I would call it. So yeah, for me, I love rapé. I had it multiple times already, and it's always helping me to get my focus out of my head more into the universal consciousness. So we started with that, and then the shaman opened the ceremony, and we had actually a super powerful shaman from Colombia. And he was serving us yahe, which is as well ayahuasca, but every tribe in South America has their own medicine. The Shipibo people in Peru, the Brazilian tribes, and then the Colombians as well. So we got yahe, and it was Samit and Daniel. Daniel was his student, and he facilitated the second night. Two very powerful people. So in the first night, I drank 1 cup. I was sitting on my mattress, trying to meditate and closing my eyes and just, waiting for whatever happened. And I was still fully present. But it took maybe like 15 to 20 minutes, and I felt that the plant started to kind of like work inside of me very energetically. And I had the feeling that I have to lay down. I saw still the other people around myself. Some of them had to purge. Some of them were like, I don't know, already in their little process. So I was just laying down and feeling how the plant was inside of me. And I set the intention for the first day: please, dear Mother Ayahuasca, help me heal my body, help me heal my wounds, and just bring me to a state so that I will be ready to get my real purpose in life. But I knew the first day for me is about healing. So she helped me heal a lot inside of myself. I almost spent the whole night laying down, putting my hands on my womb, and they were super warm and hot. And the funny thing is, I'm a Reiki master, right? So I work a lot with energies and I know how to heal myself, but I found it really like enhancing that she was helping me, working with my own energy, working with her energy to literally reset my whole system, which was amazing. I felt like the whole night I was like vibrating inside of myself. And then at kind of like a middle of the ceremony, it was mainly dark. We just had like 2 candles lighted. And we had musicians as well playing music. The music helped me getting into my healing state and everything. It was super calm, but super powerful in my body. And then in the middle of the night, I saw a portal in front of me opening, and I heard her calling me, Nadine, Nadine. But I said to myself, no, today I'm not ready to go somewhere. I want to stay in my body and try to, work on my body to fix myself and heal. So it was a super smooth ceremony. I had just once the urge of purging a little bit, but not really a lot came out. And then in the end of the session, by the way, took place from 10 to 5 o'clock in the morning. And I was like, how can we stay awake for that long time? It's possible. It's crazy. It's possible. So the funny thing is, at the end of the ceremony, I don't know the time because we were not allowed to have any phones or watches around us. So the shamans took us out to the fireplace. We had outside a beautiful fireplace, and we were sitting in a row in like 2 groups. I was part of the first group. So we went outside and they gave us some healing. So they were telling us some prayers. They were waving with the feathers and spitting holy water on us and stuff like that. So I felt like literally this was the last step of healing my body. And then we went back inside, and the other group actually received it inside because we had some people who had like a really trip already on the first day. So they preferred keeping them inside. So it was a beautiful journey. But yeah, for me, I was staying in my body, what I actually wanted. After the ceremony, we were released to go out because that's one of the rules. If you enter the ceremony space and you take the medicine, you have to stay until the shaman is closing the ceremony, just to make sure that everybody is still in the energetic space. And when they release you, then you're able to go and sleep. Which makes totally sense, because if you leave the energetic space, there is a huge change in it, and you should stay together in the container. So I went into my room, and I had the feeling of that I had to shower something off because I was so much working on my body. So I went into the shower, showered myself, and then it happened. I had to vomit so much. Everything came out, and I was like, oh my goodness. Okay, but it was literally, it was really liberating. It didn't feel like, sometimes you are sick and you have to vomit. This is another kind of vomiting. It was like a liberation. I don't know what I vomited, but something came off. And by the way, we stopped eating by around 3:30 p.m. So just to make sure that there is not really a lot of food in the stomach, and you have to follow a certain diet. So we were dieting 1 week before the retreat started and during the retreat as well, just to help your body be clean and to take the plant in a better way. So yeah, that was day 1. We slept a bit, and then we had our integration circle. It was super interesting hearing about the other people, what they experienced. And for me, it's always nice because you can learn from other people so much, you know. And that's why I as well like this retreat, because they make sure that you literally, whatever you experience, you integrate. Because if you just experience it, it is not doing anything to you really, because it's just an experience. The really hard work that is starting actually is after the retreat, when you process whatever you experienced. So I will jump now to the 3rd night, because the 2nd night for me was the most powerful and that might take the longest. So in the 3rd night, I because whatever I experienced in the 2nd night, I will come to it in a second, I was a bit afraid of that I will go to such a journey again. So I set the intention of just giving back to the plant in the 3rd day, showing gratitude, being connected, and just being in ease and joy. So the shaman actually gave me a tobacco stick as well that I was able to hold, because I was since the 2nd day on my period. It was full moon. And it was a super strong energy, that full moon. So I literally hold the tobacco stick, which was probably like a cigar, the whole journey. And I entered a super deep connection state. I didn't travel into another realm, but I was super connected with everybody in the room, with all the shamans. And it was beautiful because I was dancing around, feeling the music. I was even sitting with the singers and musicians, and I was singing with them. Even the words I didn't know, but I knew them somehow, if it makes sense. I will tell you later. So the 3rd day was a super, super smooth ritual, and I think the whole room was like that. Just maybe 2 people had to purge. I didn't have to purge. I was just mostly celebrating and enjoying, and I never wanted it to end. I never wanted it to end. It was one of the most beautiful things. And I'm really grateful that day 3 ended like this, because if I would have ended after day 2, probably I would have never touched the plant again anymore in my life. And now I tell you why. So on day 2, I was super energized. I felt like my body was prepared and healed and everything. And I got as well a massage from Gabrielle on day 1, which already helped me getting into the space. Gabrielle is a super amazing massage therapist. So I was aligned with my body. So rapé started again. I got some face painting before. And I was sitting there getting the rapé. And after the rapé, I felt like something like, I am ready. I'm ready. I didn't know for what, but I sensed I was ready. So I went to the shaman, took 1 cup. And by the way, it depends. You can have 1 cup, and after an hour, the shaman is opening the bar, and then you can get other cups. I actually never had more than 1 cup. And in each day, it was doing something differently to me. So in day 2, I had 1 cup. I felt like I'm ready. So I was sitting, meditating, and literally 10 or 15 minutes later, not long time, I felt like, boom, something happened. The portal opened. I went into the portal. Geometric figures were surrounding myself. I had to close my eyes. Then I saw like this whole universe. Like it was super energetic. I cannot put it really into words because it's so different than what we see on the earth. it took me onto this journey, and I was feeling like I'm uplifting, like not being in my body anymore, and just seeing a lot of colors, shapes and figures and everything. And then I sensed like I'm energy, and I felt like that I'm in the universe, this energetic flow. Something similar I experienced in my mushroom ceremony. So I felt like I'm part of the universe, but I'm a very strong energy. And I felt like this is the real thing. And that's when it kicked in. So I was losing myself, literally. I was losing this body here. I was losing the presence. And I was questioning myself, what is real? What is real? Is that what I experienced on Earth? Just a simulation? Is that something what they want to trick us to be in? Is that where I'm right now, the real thing? Is that samadhi? Is that enlightenment? What is it? What am I doing here? And why am I not in my body anymore? It was all new. It was super overwhelming. And I was just trying to breathe, because they all said, breathe, breathe, and you will be fine and everything. But I got like a little bit anxious. And it got until a point, because I was so unsure what happened here right now, that I was calling out loud for help. I said help, because the helpers were there all the time. And when you need help, they come to you. So I lost myself. So I literally said help. And people were coming to me. I know that Maggie came to me and Paula, and they asked me, how can we help you? What do you need? And I was thinking, what do I need? So I started to purge, literally purging. I didn't stop. And then I said, okay, I need to get out of here. I need to get out of here, which I meant I needed air. So they brought me outside. I opened my eyes. I couldn't see really anymore. It was like all super surreal. I had like super tall feet. When I looked at them, they were like 5D multidimensional figures, but not people anymore. So they held me and brought me outside, set me in front of the fire, and I had to vomit. And they said to me, breathe, relax, it'll be over, you can go through this, whatever. So I got really cold, because outside it was literally really cold. So I said, please cover me. I'm so cold. I don't know how it happened, but I think maybe they brought me a blanket, but it felt like the plant was like embracing me and covering me and touching me and everything, and making me feel warm and wanted. But I had to purge. And then I reached a stage where I actually said, and basically mainly of the time I was talking in English or Spanish, or even I said sometimes something in French, but nothing in German. So I said, why do I have to birth so much? I was purging, but for me it felt like I had to birth something, like I had to birth a universe or something like that. And they were trying to just hold me, be with me, and telling me, breathe, surrender, don't fight it. And the plant was talking to me, and I said, like, why do I have to do that? And I don't know how long it was taking. I was totally losing track of time. I was lost in the universe somewhere, purging, birthing, whatever. So after a while, they were bringing the shaman out, because they felt like I needed some healing. So the shaman did his ritual on me, trying to help me suppress something. And, whenever he did something, I had to purge even more. Something came out of me. I don't know what it was. I made sounds you cannot even experience, that was like super demonic sometimes, probably. And I was like, what is coming out of me? So, okay. But at a certain time, they really wanted me to be back in the room. So they tried to touch me and bring me into the room. And I don't know how I went there, but I went there somehow. They put me on the bed, still having my bucket in front of me. And I was like looking around, not really seeing the other people. I just saw the shamans all the time passing. They were walking a lot. I heard the music playing, and I had to vomit a little bit more. And then I said at a certain point, I cannot purge anymore. Let other women do that for me. I'm done with it. I'm done with birthing the universe. I cannot do it more. So the plant literally told me, Nadine, you're here to create a new universe, and we need you for that. But I said, okay, I did that now. If I have to birth more, let me birth through breathing. So I literally changed my habit of purging into breathing. And that's when actually Maggie took the bucket away from me, and I saw that other women around me had to start purging. So I was like, okay, I'm laying down now and I'm breathing with them. And then the shaman did this, music was playing, and the music affected me so much that the shaman was whispering things, doing his own rituals, and I felt it so much that my whole body was shaking. I was like vibrating so much that something got like elevated. I don't know what happened there for real, but it felt like some things came out of me. I had to like making sounds, and it was like an elevation that I would call that was level 2. After that, I was just trying to relax a little bit on the bed. I was laying actually down, listening to the women around me purging, and I was trying to help them go through the process. And I said, breathe, surrender, and everything like that. I tried to hold the space for them. And then the guys started to purge as well. I heard it, and I said, stop. I cannot take care of the men. I'm here for the women, but I cannot take care of the men as well. Please help them. So the helpers, they took care of the other men. And then level 3 actually started. So level 3 for me was, I was lying on my bed and the musicians were playing beautiful sounds, and then I felt like the plant is seducing me. So I felt like I got like touched by her everywhere. My sexual energy was rising, and I heard sounds like everything was very pleasurable. I felt like I'm in a big orgy somehow, and totally lost in the yoni-verse. And that's when I remembered what Benjo said to me. Nadine, the plant might challenge you with things. She wants to test you if you really want to know what you came for. And the second day, I actually set my intention. I wanted to know my real purpose, why I'm here on earth, what I have to do. So the purpose why I was on the other universe was I wanted to birth the universe, but I wanted to understand what is my mission actually. And while I was experiencing the things with the women around me, the plant already showed me, you're here to bring women into their balance, to work with the feminine energy, to show after that the man, that the balance between female and masculine energy is the real thing, and that's the future for us. But she tried to seduce me and take me far away somewhere. So I actually embraced it for a while, but then I said very clearly, and I was very specific and loud, and I said, dear plant, I stop it. I want to know my real purpose. And that I actually had to shout out a couple of times. I think the shaman was laughing about me at a certain point because I was so consistent and so demanding and so really like powerful. And the people around me, they probably thought like, oh my God, she is on something, because not everybody is on such a trip. So I was really like, no, stop it. I need to know my real purpose. And I got caught away multiple times into this yoni-verse, sexual energy rising, whatever. But then I said, no, show me my real purpose. And so the plant actually really like showed me, you have a mission on earth. I want you to work with women. I want you to help them align themselves. I want to help you finding their real powers, because you have been a woman who is experienced a lot of masculine energy, and you're on this path of finding the balance of both energies. And you can bring this to women and help them shine, help them experience their sexual energy as well, and work with it and bring like this something new to the world. And that was actually really amazing. So she, at level 4, she showed me all these things that I literally said, okay, I understood now, but then please bring me back to my body, because I'm not on earth right now. So I really told her, bring me back to my body, and at least make sure that my body at the moment is okay, because I think I'm thirsty, I think I'm still cold, please take care of me. And then I think Maggie and Paula came to me, and one of them said to me as well, one mantra for you on this journey: breathe, surrender, and fully embody it, then everything will be fine and you will be slightly coming back. So I said to myself, okay, breathe. And I heard all the time the plant breathing, like, that was a sound. And so I really liked, she helped me breathing into it. So I said, okay, slowly, I want to get back. But I wasn't sure if I ever get back. At that point, I was still not sure if I ever get back to the world. So I was breathing, surrendering, and I was looking at my friend Amy beside me. And the funny thing is, at a certain point, I didn't know if it was her or if it was me. I looked at her, but I saw me. And she went through this purging process, and I helped her. I said things out loud, and the next day she told me, you know, whatever, Nadine, you said, I was thinking about that as well. So thank you for shouting that out. So I was like, wow, this is interesting, you know. So, okay, but slightly slow by slow, I got literally in small steps back into my body, and I was looking around, but the surrounding looked like it before-ish, but still it had a lot of 5D figures. I saw the shamans walking around, and it was like very surreal. But I just was breathing, sitting there, letting it process everything. And then at a certain point, the shamans had as well a corner in the middle where they were playing music. I had the urge of standing up and sitting in front of the altar and just sitting with the shamans and the musicians, looking at them, listening to the music. And then Maggie and Chris, they performed some really old songs from the Brazilian tribe in another language, and I just started singing with them. I didn't know the words, but I guess I knew. Kind of like I felt so connected that I found like, this is where one of my parts is coming from. This is super interesting. So I was singing with them, having fun, being part of the tribe. And at another point, the plant was telling me, Nadine, at a certain point, you have to go to the jungle. You have to experience something, because in the jungle there is some methods you might use for your work here on earth. So whenever you feel the calling, go there, and you should learn some female shamanic rituals, and that's okay. I took that. Okay, fine. So slow by slow, the end of the night was very smooth. It ended with a beautiful singing ceremony and everything, and everybody got calmer again. And then the shaman closed the ceremony again, and we were all released, going to bed. And I felt like, okay, I will just lay down. I showered and I was laying down and processing the whole thing. The next day I woke up and we had this beautiful integration circle, and I was sharing everything what I experienced that night too, and people were like, oh yeah, we heard you. You were talking a lot, actually. And I said, even, you know, at a certain point, I was talking to the plant when she, you know, challenged me so much. I said, stop it. I said, arrête in French. I talked in so many languages that I wanted her to understand that I'm here for getting to know my real purpose so that I can serve better. And there was one more thing, because another guy had a really intense journey, and he was standing for a second in front of my bed, and he looked at me and he said, don't worry. And that's when I started to laugh, because I was already back on earth, and I looked at Amy, and I started to laugh, and I said, worrying is over. And I said it in literally such a tone, very dry, and we had to laugh our asses off, because literally my trip was done. I knew my purpose, I got what I wanted, and he was still on his trip. So I was like, no, I'm done, man. That was so funny. So I shared my experiences, and the people were like, yeah, I think you were on a really strong journey. But overall, you know, I set every day an intention. First day was healing, I got that. Second day was finding my purpose, I got it. Third day, I wanted to be connected with the plant, with the people, and give gratitude. Happened. So that was my retreat trip. But actually, the plant is not stopped working, because on the third day, I didn't purge it out. So the next night, I was back in Barcelona in my hotel room, and I was dreaming. I was dreaming still. I like being on a trip, and I was being a Black Panther, running through the jungle, experiencing things, and just, you know, feeling free and liberated. It was such a powerful feeling. And then day 2 and 3, I think on day 2, the plant told me, you know, Nadine, when you work on earth, you have to implement as well some of the elements. You should work with water and fire. Funny thing, I already work with water in the ice bath, and I love fire ceremonies. So this is already something really cool. And the 3rd or 4th night, when I was back with my friends in Barcelona, in Mallorca actually, I had a dream, and a really bad negative energy tried to kidnap me or try to get into me. And I was trying to not let her or him or it or whatever into my body. But I woke up in the middle of the night, and I felt like, whoa, what is happening here right now? Who is here? So that I literally texted Daniel, one of the shamans, in the middle of the night at 2 a.m. And he was awake, to tell him, oh my God, I think I almost got possessed by a negative energy. What should I do? How can I clean myself? What do I have to do? So he told me what I can do, you know, sending out some prayers, listening to some music, next time saging everything. And yeah, I did everything like that on the next day. And I actually felt that at the end of the room, there was like a wooden thing on the wall somewhere. And I felt that the energy was stuck in there. So I did like kind of like a ritual. I don't know what I did, but I brought it out. And the room felt so much better after that. So yeah, and I'm still dreaming about her, and I got the calling of going into the jungle. It didn't leave, so I decided to book a journey on New Year's Eve, actually, with the shamans that I was just with. They offer a retreat there, and I will be in the jungle for 10 days to go on the further journey, because I think that was just the beginning. There is way more to it. So I'm really looking forward to experiencing more. But so far, I can just say it was exactly what I wanted to get out of. I didn't expect that it could be so deep, and so that I was able to almost like lose my mind and maybe not ever coming back. Even that people say, you always come back. That's what I tried to stick to. But I, even in the Saturday, in the second trip, I kind of like questioned myself if that was the truth. So yeah, it was intense, but it was super worth it, and I would always do it again. Because when you enter that kind of stage, you learn so much that you cannot access that easily when you are doing it the normal way, you know, when you do meditation, stuff like that, you know, it's kind of like an accelerator. That definitely is. So if you ever feel the calling, listen to your inner self, ask yourself why you want to do it, find a safe space where you can do it, never do it just for fun, have respect, have really literally a lot of respect, because it is powerful, but it can show you so many things that are just beyond whatever you can imagine. And for for me, it was one of the most intense journeys I ever had. But for me, I have a clean slate. The only thing what I ever did was taking once mushrooms in Europe or smoking weed in Europe. So no other things were in my body ever. But the funny thing is, 2 of the days, the plant worked completely different, very smoothly on me. And on the second day, I had just 1 cup, and I went beyond where you can think of, where you can go. And the shaman actually told me, Nadine, you didn't even give me time to breathe. I had to start working literally 15 minutes after you drank the thing. This is insane. You are so sensitive to it. But that day, I can tell you, I felt like there was a calling. I was ready for the journey. So I jumped into it. And here I am right now, figuring out the next steps in life, because I know that there will be a lot of changes coming, a lot of good changes. I'm already on my path, but that were a lot of insights that I will integrate right now. And I had super beautiful reunions as well in Mallorca. They were eye-opening. I met my lover Shaft as well, and we had some really amazing tantric experiences. He awakened my whole Kundalini level, or he enhanced my Kundalini level, and I would say I did the same to him. I can start believing right now that I have powers too. I see what I can do, and I saw what I did on other people as well. So maybe one day I will share a little bit what I was doing in Mallorca as well. So yeah, it's powerful. And I can just say, since I took the plant, I don't know, but I opened a lot of more portals, and I'm way more able to receive, and I'm super sensitive, so that whenever I see people, sometimes I just literally know things. So yeah, I think that was the first step of me going this journey of being a female shaman. Now I dropped it, and let's see, I will take you further on my journey, and I hope that I will be still able to connect this very masculine business world with the feminine powers. And I think that's one of my paths I have to do as well, because I see that there is such a huge disbalance in our world here, and if we all just embrace our both sides and bring out the best in us, then we can literally have here a better place to live. So I think that's a good word of how to end the session today. If you have any questions about my journey, please feel free to contact me, write me a DM, text me, and I will be back shortly with some more information. Love you all, and sending you lots of hugs and kisses. Bye for now.